Welcome everyone to the presentation of the research paper entitled, Mapping Land Cover Change and Modeling Its Impacts on the Inundation Responses of the Agusan Marsh, Mindanao, Philippines. The paper was co-authored by Meriam MAKINANO-SANTILLAN and Jojene R, who are both faculty researchers at the Caraga Center for Geo-Informatics, College of Engineering and Geosciences of Caraga State University in Butuan City, Philippines. Monitoring of environmental changes is one of the most popular applications of satellite remote sensing. In this work, satellite remote sensing was utilized to map and monitor changes in land cover of Agusan Marsh in Mindanao Island, Philippines over a 22-year period. By utilizing satellite-derived land cover information and two-dimensional flood modeling, it was aimed to estimate how the Agusan Marsh would react to extreme rainfall events in terms of depth and extent of inundations. But why was Agusan Marsh chosen for this study? The Agusan Marsh is one of the most ecologically significant wetlands and an important region of biodiversity in the Philippines. It is an extensive floodplain within the Agusan River Basin, the Philippines' third-largest river basin. Agusan Marsh contains nearly 15% of the Philippines' freshwater resources, over an area of approximately 960 square kilometers in size, in the form of swamp forests. Aside from swamp forests, the marsh includes an extensive network of rivers and lakes. A major portion of the marsh, called the Agusan Marsh Wildlife Sanctuary, has been declared by the Philippine government as a protected area in 1996. In 1999, the same was declared as a Ramsar site, not only to value its role as an internationally important wetland, but also to encourage national action and international cooperation for its conservation and sustainable use of its resources. Agusan Marsh has long been considered to act as storage for rainwater or catch basin during the rainy season, and is believed to have an important role of reducing the downstream flow of flood water into population centers situated along the Agusan River. However, recent flooding incidents caused by extreme rainfall resulted to fatalities, agricultural and infrastructure damages around the marsh and in populated centers along the Agusan River. These seem to suggest that the marsh is no longer functioning as expected, or as believed by many. In fact, high siltation in the marsh due to the deforestation and other anthropogenic activities, particularly farming and mining, in the watersheds upstream of the marsh, is a problem that remains to be solved through the years. Land use conversions for agricultural plantation development have also encroached some of the marsh natural biodiversity and structure. With such significant and diverse roles, it is crucial to map the marsh's land cover, including those of the watershed supplying water to the marsh, and to monitor its changes over time and space. The impacts of these land cover changes to the inundation responses of the marsh during extreme rainfall events must also be understood, particularly for flood disaster mitigation strategy formulations. Hence, we conducted this study to generate multi-temporal land cover maps for land cover change monitoring in the Agusan Marsh over a 22-year period, from 1995 to 2017, using Landsat images. It also aimed to estimate how the Agusan Marsh would react to extreme rainfall events, in terms of depth and extent of inundations, by employing two-dimensional flood modeling. The year 1995 was chosen as the baseline for the mapping and analysis, as it represents the state of the marsh prior to implementation of government laws and programs that may have either regulated or enhanced anthropogenic activities within the marsh and its surroundings. As the marsh is located within the Agusan River Basin, any changes in land cover upstream would have direct effect to the marsh. It was then a necessity to perform land cover mapping for the whole basin. Orthorectified images acquired by various Landsat satellite sensors were downloaded from USGS Earth Explorer and used for land cover mapping. There were many challenges in the land cover mapping process, such as the presence of clouds and cloud shadows, and the fact that not whole of the Agusan River Basin is contained in a single Landsat scene. These challenges made the land cover mapping process not as straightforward and easy as it seems. To address the limitations brought by cloud covers, and to ensure complete land cover mapping, a total of 62 images were downloaded, and all underwent radiometric calibration and atmospheric correction, before subjecting them to supervised land cover classification using the maximum likelihood algorithm. This flowchart summarizes the overall land cover mapping process, which includes image downloading, pre-processing, cloud and cloud shadow digitizing, maximum likelihood classification, missing data supplementation, contextual editing, and accuracy assessment. The land cover classification focused on 7 major land cover classes that include agricultural or cultivated lands, barren lands, built-up, forest, grassland, water, and wetlands. Two-dimensional flood modeling was then performed, to estimate how the Agusan Marsh would react to extreme rainfall events, in terms of depth and extent of inundations. For this purpose, a pure 2D flood model of the whole Agusan River Basin, based on HEC-RAS version 5, was developed using LIDAR-derived digital terrain model, as source of topographic information. Different versions of the model were prepared, with each version corresponding to the land cover condition for a particular year. The corresponding land cover map was used as basis for assignment of Manning surface roughness, which is one of the major parameters of the model. A rainfall event with a return period of 2 years, corresponding to 126 mm of rain in 24 hours, was used as the model's boundary condition. Before we present the results, take note that we focused our analysis on the Agusan Marsh floodplain, as shown. This is the land cover map for the year 1995, including the percentage composition of each land cover type. This is for the year 2002. This is for the year 2005. For the year 2010. For the year 2015. And finally, for the year 2017. As can be seen from the maps, wetland vegetation and cultivated or agricultural areas are the dominant land cover types in the marsh. The analysis also revealed that the Agusan Marsh was 68% and 66% naturally vegetated in 1995 and 2017, respectively. It was also found that agricultural or cultivated areas were at 21% and 28% of the marsh in 1995 and 2017, respectively. Relative to the original area of cultivated or agricultural lands in 1995, an increase by 36% was found, that is, from 19,900 hectares in 1995 to 27,100 hectares in 2017. These results revealed that agricultural activities in the marsh are increasing through the years, confirming earlier studies that reported land cover conversions for rice, corn, banana, and oil palm plantations. Another significant finding is that cultivated lands are not only increasing in extent. The direction where this expansion took place is from the outskirt portions of the marsh towards the Agusan Marsh Wildlife Sanctuary, a protected area. Spatial analysis further revealed that cultivated lands have already encroached the northeast portion of the AMWS in 1995, and this encroachment has increased until 2017. Now, how would these detected changes in land cover affect the inundation response of the marsh during rainfall events? If the land cover condition of the marsh is for that of 1995, this is how the marsh would be inundated by a 126 mm of rain in 24 hours, as simulated by the HEC-RAS model. This is for the 2002 land cover condition. For 2010. For 2015. And finally, for 2017. In general, simulation results showed that the Agusan Marsh responded differently for each year, in terms of inundation depth and extent. It can be noted that the differences are relatively small. The average simulated inundation depth all over the marsh was highest at 1.21 meters in 2017, and lowest in 2010 at 0.9 meters. Areas within the marsh that have become inundated have the smallest extent in 2010 and 2015, and largest in 1995 and 2002. It would be interesting to simulate how the marsh would respond if higher volumes of rainfall will be considered. In conclusion, this study has shown the usefulness of satellite remote sensing for land cover mapping and change monitoring in the Agusan Marsh. By incorporating the land cover information into a numerical model, potential inundation depths and extents were generated for different land cover conditions. These results of the combined satellite remote sensing and two-dimensional flood modeling approach would be essential to better understand landscape patterns in the Agusan Marsh, including changes and interactions between human activities and natural phenomena, such as flooding, for proper marsh management and improved decision-making.